What's up? Don't stop being creative as a black man. Now, I think when you really start to look at things and what the black man needs, I would say more than anything, a black man needs creativity. He needs to be able to be at a state where he is creating. He's not in a inferior mindset. He can do things and not have to copy anybody, not have to imitate anybody. Obviously, we can have role models and stuff, but I think in the black community, we really see a lack of creativity, right? We really have way more of a slave mentality, not just to, the white man or anything like that, but we have a slave mentality to our carnality, to our lower state. The only way you can be creative as a black man is to get out of the carnal mindset of just desires and being super primitive and just you act off of your emotions. When you can actually step into a place where you do what you want to do and you're in full control, that's when you're at that creative state where you can go out and do things and make things, and it can really be it can really put you at a place in life where you feel most in tune with yourself. You feel most in tune with yourself when you're in that creative state. And I think that it's many examples of being creative, but I think that sovereignty has a lot to do with that. And there's so many times in the black community where the black community don't like to see when a black man is creative. A lot of the times they like when a black man is culturally accepted, when he does something that's deemed as cool, but it's really a impoverished way of doing things, a impoverished mentality. They would rather see us be a slave to sex. They rather see us be a slave to, you know, being the stereotypical black man. And the stereotype is meant for us to be lower, meant for us to be in one or two type of categories. As far as when I look at a black man, he's only good for this or he's only good for that. He can't really go outside of that. We have to be more accepting of black men being creative. And no matter what, if you're a black guy and you want to be creative, as far as you want to go out there and really do something with your life, you don't want to just be stuck in one box of doing things. As far as, you don't want to just go to college and have a regular job, and it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. That's an example, but I think the main thing is you do what you want to do and stay as true to yourself as possible. And that's when we really see men be at their highest state. They stay fully in tune with who they are. And that's the state of being creative, right? And I think that we have to really open our eyes for men to be that, and to culturally accept that. That's really what I want to emphasize. We have to culturally accept that. Don't accept when a guy's being a thug or a gangster or he has dysfunctional relationships. Don't promote that, right? Because right now that's glorified with black men being that way or being a criminal. Those things are glorified. What really needs to be glorified is when we have more black men who have businesses, more black men who have a career in life that they love, and they're getting paid good, and they're really doing something that means something to them, right? That's the only thing that really matters. If you're a black man and you want to go out there and be somebody, do what's do something that really means something to you. Don't just do it for the money. Don't just do it for any of that. Do something that really means something to you. And I think that that's the most important thing. And no matter what, we got to be unstoppable with that. We can't let somebody say something to us or try to pick on us. No, whatever you want to do in life, stay fully in tune with that and don't stop. I'm just figuring out in my life that you can't be around people who are trying to stop you from being creative, from doing what you want to do in life. Because a lot of people around you will say, well, that ain't realistic. That ain't going to work. Oh, that's corny. That's lame. People will come around you, or you put yourself in a bad situation sometimes and around the wrong people, and they'll just bring you down. They will tear you down. They will tear you down from being creative and being fully in tune with who you are as a man. And that's what we have to get away from. And the only time we're going to see black men rise and the black community rise is when we're at a state of creativity. Understand the history of black people in America, that we were blocked off from being creative, right? And the only times when when we were separated, like during segregation, you know, if you literally go and do the research, the per capita income of the black household was higher than it is today in America. And why? It's because we were forced to go and be our own doctors. We were forced to have our own businesses. We were forced to do for ourselves and create for ourselves, right? That's the most important thing. And I think that that's the thing we have to go back to for us to really be strong, to have our sovereignty, because we have to understand that it's a real effort for us to still be slaves mentally. Maybe not physically anymore, but mentally. And that's where the real battle is at. And that's what we have to understand, that it's not about anything materialistic or superficial. People, the enemy really wants your brain. They want your mind. They want your ability to do for yourself. They want your ability to create for yourself. But once we step into that place where we are creating for ourselves, that's when we're going to be most powerful. That's when we're going to be the most dangerous, right? And I think that there's so many times where we look at black men, they don't want to be creative. Why? Because they think that's too kiddish. Because so many dudes give up on themselves quickly. They give up on themselves because their culture tells them that's corny, that's lame, uh, that's acting like a kid, you know. And I've really experienced other black men, they want you to be like a loser. They want you to be a person who gives up on their dreams, and they want you to fully embrace the culture of acting like a thug, acting like a player or whatever. They want you to fully embrace that, because a black man who's out there trying to create something, who's out there trying to make something, out there trying to do something bigger than himself, those men truly get separated and rejected by the culture of black people today. And I think that there's very few black people in the black community that actually want to see the black people rise and actually want to see the black people, the black men create. But we have to understand our biggest enemy is not really the the it's not really the white man. It's more of what the white man has done that put us against each other. And that came through a self-destructive culture. And that's where we really have to work and get away from those things, because that's when we're really going to be able to thrive. So yeah, peace out.